Hello, my Teaserking family. A little late class. I was in the zone picking my football games, and college is so long, and I was into it. And I did the pros and I did the college all today, and I didn't want to leave the zone. I'm getting a little tired, so it's a good time to break. And then I just have a second pay, about 20, no, about 10 games left, so I can do that. My format's great. I've got it pretty much figured out from my one sheet into my spreadsheet, so I know what to look for. And that's the key to life. What are the variables? We do it with gold and silver. We do it with economics. You want to sell something? Is there demand for your product? At what price can you sell it at? What's your cost? So we got it all figured out. I know I'm on late. Pat will probably be on it because he's 12 hours ahead. It's 9:30 in the morning for him. He's in Singapore. All right, gold 25.74. It took its drop at 10 o'clock, 11. Hey, Luke. Yeah, I've been busy with football, so I thought I'd take a break and teach economics. That and silver 30.57. Now, I think I've noted a pattern with this. With the gold derivatives, I'm noticing Tuesday is the down day. That's when you see the chart go down like this. However, on Thursday, we see the chart go up. There is no down. So this is the down day. So I'm expecting to see 26 and a quarter on Thursday and then wrap it up on Friday. I have no idea. I don't pay. So they're going to raise interest rates or lower interest rates. It really doesn't matter for our purposes. Inflation is not prices. We know it's printing money. So right there, we know that we're fine. So that's why I don't pay attention to it. It's all gibberish. It's all, they want you to look at it, but it's meaningless. What's meaningful is how much you're printing, because you can't always raise prices, right? I mean, you go to the stores, well, you know, with tennis rackets, you can't, even if inflation hits your tennis rackets, you can't just mark them to $1,000 a racket. Nobody will buy them. So even if there is inflation and your costs go up, doesn't mean you can raise your prices, which is my whole issue with this. Let's measure inflation by prices, because and especially year over year is meaningless. You got to go back like 5 years to today. You'll see Coke at $1.25. Now it's $3. That's your inflation, not when inflation jumped up last year and now it's stayed because they can't raise the price anymore. Again, that's the market. Again, it's how much dollars are printed in your debt. Looks like they'll lower rates, not that it matters. BRICS will help next month. Well, the amount of buying going on in gold, I showed this video yesterday. You weren't on. I don't know if you saw it or not, on silver. How China is buying silver directly from the mine. And since it doesn't go through comex, it doesn't reflect in the price. That's how stupid comex is. So comex, the only price you get on silver is the derivative price. And they can still pound the derivatives, keeping the price of silver down, even though China's buying 500, 1,000 tons at a time of silver, as India is doing. I think they're 1 billion ounces short on COMEX. So the demand's here and the supply's here, but it's not free market, so you don't see the price jump. But I think that's got to be almost ending. So China's just simply going to the mine saying, yeah, I'll pay you. They're paying double. So I'll give you $70 an ounce for silver. The mine says, fine, thank you. China knows it's a lot more than 70, but because they're buying off of COMEX, it doesn't get recorded in the price. So we know how obviously much of a Madoff the COMEX is, but in the real world, the price of silver is much higher. The demand for silver is much higher. And the fact it wears out. Gold doesn't wear out. This is Julius Caesar's, right? This is what he wore. There is no thing for silver. It wears out. So what the Romans had is gone. So how much silver is left, right? And nobody really keeps track of it. There's no ledger that says, oh, there's 575,000 tons of silver. How much is out there? Oh, 400,000. You know, the Chinese have this, the Russian. There's no count. It's a joke. So as they need for the solar panels, the silver, nobody, they can't find it. So they go, so China goes, oh, I'll go to this mine and go buy it. And the mines are stupid. They take $70. There's a fixed price of double. So $70, let's say an ounce. China's paying the miner. This is how stupid the silver mines are. Dudes, they can't find any. You should make it $500 an ounce. What a bunch of idiots running the silver mines. And why do they even look at that price? Well, comex is this. Don't they know comex is not real price? Luke, I'm not sure if it's going to be a slow burn increase in gold, silver, or abrupt. Well, you see gold jump 2,500. Now it's 2,600. I think we'll see a lot of that where it just flies to 3,000. And because it's comex, the problem is it's comex. So it's not really, if all the central banks buy all the tons of gold, it's not affecting the price. It's when they buy it off of comex, but there is no gold on comex to buy it from. But somehow, I don't know why the price of gold on comex goes up, because it's not market. But I guess it's when they do buy through the banks on comex, they do the derivatives, and they go, I'm taking delivery, and that makes the price go up. But something's there where the price just keeps going. 25.76, go. So that's the problem, is how the hell are they keeping track of the price if it's not based on supply and demand free market? But anyway, so we know Tesla was buying from a silver mine. China's buying from a silver mine. I assume India is buying from a silver mine. So does that break comex? Why look at the comex price if they're buying? There's a real market of these big countries buying direct from the silver mines. And that should, as the silver mines dry up, that should raise the price. I don't have any left. Nobody has any. That's just like your brother. Okay, well, I want Oregon, Ohio State tickets. They're all so low. Now it goes to secondary market. And that's what we're waiting for. I don't know. First of all, Russia and China do not want comex. They don't want the U.S. pricing their gold and silver. And since we know comex is U.S., Russia and China need a high price. Russia's got inflation. They're going bankrupt. Everything's going out. So they got all the gold. So, you got 65,000 tons of gold. I'm sure they want it more than 2,600. Add a zero to it, I'm sure. So we're just preparing for the dollar going out. And did you like my cute title yesterday? Are there going to be lifeboats? Because we discussed that about your friend, that when he finally starts selling his $4 million 401k, which will be worth about $1 million. I mean, that's what it's worth now. 4 million times 1%. So he's got what, $4,000 in real, or $40,000 of real money, which he can't understand. I got 4 million. You got 4 million in monopoly money. So that's the problem. He thinks he's got $4 million. He doesn't realize they're worth nothing. They're worth 1% of it. So he's got to get out. See, that's what we're doing. But I'm putting this to you because you understand that you have 50 ounces of gold, let's say. Let's keep it simple. 50 ounces. Every $100 you make 5,000. You buy at 1,800, it's now 2,600. That's 800 times 50 is $40,000. How the fuck is it not an investment? Explain that to me, because they'll say, no, it's not an investment. How the fuck is it not an investment? Where else can you make $40,000? Just here you go. This went from 25 to 2,600. We just made $5,000. How is that not an investment? I mean, they'll keep arguing that the gold price doesn't go up. And I keep arguing, yes, it does, because the dollar is not going down anymore. There's got nothing left in the dollar to go down, which means the gold price is going up based on demand, just like a Rolex or a Mantle card. If there's bids on it, or the Jordan rookie, the Montana rookie, How did the Montana rookie get from $100 to 125,000? Demand. Oh, it's a PSA 10. Oh, it's Montana's rookie, and the bidding goes up and up and up, and that's my point. So the demand does raise the price of gold. These idiots don't understand it because they're all like stockbrokers. They just don't get it, or bankers or whatever. Oh, Luke's busy today. Brics will help, bro. Brics, yeah, all the Brics people buying will help. I think the gold silver price will jump with the FMOC. Well, I don't know because it's not a free market item. It's all the derivatives. But I think what's happening is China, Japan dump all their dollars because when they lower the rate, it's worth less. So they don't want to hold the dollar. They can't. So they're dumping it as much as they can. China had $6 trillion in T-bills. Now they got three trillion. They'll sell the three. Japan sold out. Saudi's selling out. India, if they have any. I would say Germany probably selling out. And this is what I'm telling you why the stock market will crash. They're going to dump their dollars and they're going to buy gold, but they got to get out of the stocks, the banks, and the houses that they own here because they want to get out of dollars. So your house that's worth $500,000 is worthless because the dollar's worthless. So it's just like your friend's monopoly money. It's worth you got a house worth 500,000, but the 500,000 is worth $5,000. It's not worth anything. This is the part that people can't quite wrap their hands around. That the dollar's worthless. They can't understand it. Well, no, it's not. Look at the stock market. Yeah, $40,000. So it's worth about 4,000 in the stock market. And people just don't get that. And I got lots of money. No, you do have lots of money, worthless money. I'm sure in Germany in the 1920s, they needed the wheelbarrow. So I'm sure the guy woke up. Oh, look, I got a million Deutschmarks. Yeah, but I need a wheelbarrow to buy a loaf of bread with. I mean, that's the scenario. It's not worth anything. So you can have a million monopoly money. That doesn't mean it's worth anything. I would just you're all set with silver, but that's about to go because if they're starting to go to the mines, it can't be long before the comex just gets blown. Like people just say, we don't care. We won't look at comex. Just like the dollar is worthless, comex is worthless. So I think that's really what's going to help us is the comex nobody will pay attention to. And then the real price will come out in Shanghai, and then you'll see $100 silver. It should be 1,000. That's the real price because it's being manipulated. It's funny. The more I teach here, the more I'm starting to hear Alligator and Mark McGuire and Egon say what I say. All of a sudden they realize, shit, the kid's right. He knows what he's talking about. I'm not sure if it's going to be a slow burn or abrupt. Oh, yeah, it's probably going to be abrupt. I think it's slow now, but it will end up being abrupt. Silver tends to run fast. Derivative could double, triple in a few months. Well, I think what we're looking at is 33, and it's still 30.48 for some reason. It's not making the move, even though gold moves. Gold moves 100, but silver can't move $1. That makes no sense. And it's derivative down. So the real value of silver is easily 20, 30 times. Not from 30 to 90. That's 3 times. From 30 to 700, 800 is what it should be. It's been taking a little push lately, but seems primed to rise to 32 cents. Just know it's going to. Just know this is the sale of the century. Now, you already own a ton of silver. But if you have, a couple $100 lying around, go buy another 20, 30 ounces. Can't hurt. Everyone's worth 1,000. So if you can buy this for 30 and it's worth 1,000, yeah, I mean, as much as you can eat, I'd buy. I want gold to go to 25K fast. Yeah, we all do, Luke. Don't worry. Hold in there, buddy. Pays to be positioned now before the rise. Well, that's what I keep saying. That's why I use the Titanic analysis. So we're in the boat, and the boat hits the iceberg. Me and you walk to the lifeboat at that point. We know, well, what's going to happen? The water is going to come in. It's going to sink. So instead of waiting for it to happen, we go to the lifeboat. And that's what we're doing here. We know the dollar's being printed to death. We know everybody's de-dollarizing. We know everybody's buying gold. We're not idiots. So all we got to do is go into the gold line, go into the silver line, buy it all. So we're in the lifeboat, and we're just waiting for the ship to sink, or in this case, the dollar. I'll show you a good one from Egon today. It's a quickie, but I'll show it to you. Yeah, definitely. Well, that's why we're 5 steps ahead, Luke. We know what's going to happen. It's a matter of when, but they're holding it in, which is fine. It allows us to buy more silver and more gold. You don't realize what's happening here. We should not be able to afford gold. Gold should be 20, 30,000 an ounce at this point. Silver, 3 or 4,000 an ounce at this point. If you didn't have this bullshit Madoff derivative paper price, because they keep knocking it down, but nobody's selling gold, nobody's selling silver. So you keep having these derivatives. If you didn't have those, that things would be just shooting up there, because that's the alternative. That's the lifeboat. But we're in the lifeboat now. We're not waiting. Oh, you know what? The water's on the deck. Yeah, gosh darn it, the boat is sinking. We need to get off. But we're already safe in the lifeboat, watching the fireworks and the flares go up on the Titanic. And so we're just sitting there going, yeah, okay, it's sinking. We know that, and we're in a lifeboat. So we're in perfect position. Yes, it does pay to be, well, because you won't be able to afford it. When gold hits 10, 50,000, the biggest question is, will the dealers take the dollar? Because we don't want it, but you've got to realize this is worthless. So if I have gold, do I even want this? Does your buddy is going to buy it at 10,000 an ounce? Does anybody going to want 10,000 of these for their ounce of gold? I don't. I'm not parting with my gold for this crap. I'm going to part it for a house or a Mercedes or a Rolex or a Mantle rookie card or, things like that. I don't want paper fiat crap. Unless it's the BRICS gold-backed currency, then I will sell it for that, because I'm selling gold for gold. But otherwise, yeah, you're going to be trading it you're going to say, here's 2 ounces of gold I want for your house. And the guy will be so happy to get it, because you got to realize these guys are idiots. So they don't have gold. When the dollar turns monopoly, they're going to be like, oh, what do I do? I'm going to sell my assets. And you're going to be, oh yeah, I like your house. Here's a couple ounces of gold for your house. And they'll be like, thank you. Oh my God, I can't believe I found somebody with gold. How many people would have gold here in America? Not a lot. Your Costco people, but they probably have a bar here and there, because that's all they can buy. So we have a decent supply of it. So that's how, like Warren Buffett's got all this money. He's got monopoly money. They're not worth anything, but he's too stupid to understand that. And he won't be able to buy gold, because once he tries to, nobody's going to want his crap dollars. And that's the point they don't understand, because they're not finance people. They're not economists. They're just stupid IT guys and salesmen. They can't allow the system to crash today with fiat. They'll have to revalue. They'll probably take gold, silver to the U.S. debt clock M2 pricing. That's the 20 silver 500. Hardly anyone owns a physical gold and silver. See, that's why they won't make it illegal or take it, because in America, nobody has it. So they don't think it's worth it. They know all the central banks are buying it. I have a friend that says, oh, they're going to make gold illegal. And I go, not here, because they don't think it. All they'll do, and I showed you the one on the tax, Andy Schechtman, like you can sell 24 ounces of gold and there's no 1099 on it. And the same with silver. You can sell like 35 ounces of silver or something like that, and there's no 1099. So we're not even going to get taxed. Will they change the law? I don't know. I don't know what Trump is doing, or the communist terrorists. I don't know what they're doing. I'm so sick of her commercials. Oh my God. I just mute them. I'm like, forget it. Silver 500. Yeah, silver will be 1,000. Well, they really can't control it, Luke. That's the point. The Titanic hit the iceberg. They can't control the water rushing in and the boat sinking, right? There's no way they can control it. Just like this, they can't control the debt. They made $1 trillion interest payment, I think, today or yesterday. There's nothing they can do. You can't control this. This is the snowball avalanche, right? It's coming down the mountain. You can't stop it. That's the point. There's nothing you can do. So how are they going to stop it? How are they going? There's nothing. They will have to revalue. And you are right in M2, but that's when you look at how much M2 there is. It's $22 trillion plus the 130 outside of the U.S. that's starting to come home when China and Japan and Saudi Arabia start cashing in their treasuries. Those are the people that own the 36 trillion. Are these other countries who bought the T-bills, who are now realizing they're worthless and they're saying, I want my money back. And I'm running to the gold window. And believe me, there is not a lot of gold left in that gold window. They don't really tell you, but there's probably very little out there. It's just like your brother. How many tickets does he got for Ohio State, Oregon? Well, he's going to run out because there's going to be huge, especially the way Oregon looked and the way Ohio State looks. He'll sell those tickets in 20 minutes. And he should hold them and sell them for 10 grand a piece. Hardly anyone owns physical gold and silver. Well, the problem is, like, we own it, but nobody knows we own it, right? I don't know. You told me you own it, but otherwise nobody knows you own it. And that's the beauty part of it. So when I called it an investment and the 50 ounces go up, let's say they go up $1,000, I just made $50,000. Nobody knows I just made $50,000 because it ain't in the bank. I bought it. That doesn't get reported, and it's sitting, and I got it. I made 50 grand on it. Nobody knows, but how is that not an investment? So we're just waiting for silver to finally go. So silver, I bought at 22, 25. You probably bought it in the early 20s, but we're waiting for silver to do what gold is, go up $100. Why does it go up 10 cents? Gold goes up $30. Silver goes up 10 cents. I don't understand that. But that's what we need is silver to start moving. And then, we'll really be well off. Maybe 1%. Oh, well, we don't know. That's the problem. I see people go into my store all the time. I'll be there and I'll kind of wait, talk to the guys, look at my gold and drool. And there's people coming in. Now, there's more people selling than buying because they see this 2,600 number and they're too stupid to realize this is just the beginning when it's going to be 20,000 and they're going to kick themselves for not holding it. But they see 2,600 and they're all excited. Oh, it's an all-time high. It was an all-time high at 23. It was an all-time high at 24, at 25, at 26, when it hits 3,000. At what point do they realize wait a minute, it keeps going up? Because they don't understand it's paper gold and they don't understand it's manipulated, but the manipulation's just about over. They can't control the price. It's just gonna run. Good point. Who's gonna want the toilet paper? Exactly. If I'm holding gold and Warren Buffett says, well, I got $1 million, I want $1 million worth of gold, I'm gonna say, I don't want your money. Sorry, buddy. You're late to the party. That was my point of the lifeboats. Sorry, there are no lifeboats left, and nobody's gonna want your money. It's like that scene at the end of the Titanic where the rich guy goes and tries to pay the guard to let him on the boat, and the guy says, "Your money's worthless. We're all sinking. What good is my money when I'm on the bottom of the ocean?" So he sits there. I don't want your money, and that's what it's going to be like. You're not going to want it if you can find it. Warren Buffett will never find $1 million worth of gold. Your buddy, if he tried to sell this $4 million today, which he should, will never find $4 million worth of gold to buy. This is what they don't understand. He should just be selling, so to have him sell $1 million. And And then he can take us to Capitol Grill and buy us a nice car with the money we saved him. I think they'll have to keep valuations the same as today, like 400K for the house, 40K for the car. They'll just raise the price of gold to 100K. No, that's not correct. The valuations are in dollars, right? So I have a house that's worth 500,000 of these. So follow me. This is worthless. What is your house worth? Nothing. I'll show you Egon's and it'll explain a little better. If this is worthless, the house, how can the house be worth $400,000? It can't be, because there is no dollar to buy it with. So therefore, there is no value of the house. It'll have to be valued in gold. And what will the value of gold be? And if the value of the dollar is zero, the house is zero. Okay, so how much is the house in gold? And that's what I'm saying. 2 ounces of gold should buy the house, because it isn't a $500,000 house. 500 in heavily inflated dollars that have lost 99% of its value. That's your 500,000. And that's about right because of the inflation. So if you take it out of the inflation, the house is probably 100 grand. But it's going to go to zero in dollar. And that's what happens. Everything in dollars, your house, your car, and everything goes to zero because the dollar's not worth anything. That's why you'll be dining right, and you'll have your nice house with just a few ounces of gold, because that'll be that's the only action in play. That's the only value. That's the only money. We'll be buying Rolex. You want a $100,000 Rolex? An ounce of gold, because it's not really 100,000. It's 100,000 highly inflated dollars. That's why you see these. That's why there's all these billionaires. It's all phony. Zuckerberg, all these guys are penniless. They're not worth anything, and they don't realize, well, I got $1 billion. Yeah, but that's not worth anything. But they don't understand. They just don't understand the game, and they're too egocentric to listen to anybody because they know everything. So no, everything gets priced to zero because the dollar's worthless, right? Again, it's $400,000. Bitcoin is $55,000. Dollar goes out, Bitcoin equals zero. Let's see. It's a pretty wild bet we are making, Professor. I'm like 90% in. I'm 100% in. There's the snowball, the ships hit the iceberg. The water's coming in. So what is the 10% you're worried about? That they patched the hole in the boat? No. The water's coming in. You've got 36 trillion in debt. It's gone. It's gone. All they're doing now is printing money to pay for the debt with monopoly money. It's all a Madoff. It's getting money in to pay out. That's all it is. It's just a Madoff. It's not anything. Wherever you're at now, your rent, your mortgage will go to zero, because how do I pay it? There is no thing. I'm surprised some billionaire hasn't tried to buy all the physical, because they're idiots. You think you have $1 billion. Look at your friend, $4 million. Why isn't he buying gold? Because he's all happy. He's got $4 million. What's he worried about? So if you're a billionaire, what are you worried about? I got $1 billion. Because they don't understand. They're holding toilet paper. It's not worth anything, but they don't understand it. So in their mind and in their egos, Zuckerberg, he's got $1 billion, and his ego says, oh, I got $1 billion. I'm not worried. But he doesn't understand what he's holding is worthless. It's monopoly money. So unless he goes into gold and silver, but he's too stupid, because his ego says, I got $1 billion. How can I lose if the dollar goes to zero? But they don't understand that. It takes an Austrian economist to understand. It's based on printing, and you guys have printed the money to death. You can't print the stock market up. That's what they're doing, printing money, putting in the stock market. Well, how much money can you print before there is no more value? And when nobody demands it, the Chinese, the Japanese, nobody, you do a treasury auction, nobody wants it. You can't sell it. That's it. There's no demand. It's the de-dollarization. It's BRICS. It's all, I think when BRICS announces, it's all over, or it'll be all over very shortly after. So you can go 99% in. I'm surprised some. Well, we don't know. I mean, Warren Buffett has some silver. I mean, maybe they are buying some gold, but how do we know? We don't know that. Yeah, your house is worth gold, exact, because it's real. It's real money that can't be printed. That's the point. The difference between this and this is just phony and this is real. That's the difference. This can't be printed. This has a high value, much higher than this. This has no value because they're printing it. This is toilet paper, and this you can't fuck with. And that's the difference. This is real, and this is a nice piece of paper. And that's it. Bitcoin is a digital type of gold until the internet goes down. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know how they've converted to gold, but it's got nothing to do with gold. The silver price at 100 still seems low. Well, I'm saying it's 1,000. The real price is 1,000 in my mind, because they keep pushing it down and the inflation keeps going. And for gold, and gold isn't going up the way it should. Gold should be 26,000, not 2,600, and therefore silver should be 2,600. Should be 1/10, let's say. So it should be 2,600. But why isn't it 1/10 of the gold price now, which is 2,600? Why isn't silver 260, which is where it minimally should be? But again, people go, it's volatile. No, only in the comex is it volatile. In the real world, it's not volatile at all. It goes up. Who's selling it? It's like I keep saying with the Mantle card, it's 75,000. It's still 75,000. It doesn't go down to 50. The Rolex is 100,000. It's still 100,000. It doesn't go down. These things don't go down. Only in the paper world does it go down. Luke, if it's 15-1 ratio, mine, no, it's about 7-1. Mind. Gold should be at 100K and silver 6,000. No, well, if gold's 100K, silver's 10,000. It's a roughly 7-1, but we'll call it 10-1 to keep it easy. It's still valued in current U.S. dollars. That's the key. It won't be. That's what BRICS will blow up. It won't be valued in U.S. dollars anymore. The average gold silver ratio is like, no, it isn't. Is that 6.5 or you got 65? No, out of the ground, it's 7-1. But we'll call it 10-1 just to make it simple. That's what the ratio should be. And because gold keeps going and silver is not allowed to rise because of the Chinese well, no, it's not really the Chinese. They're buying it from the mine. It's just not reflected as the mine is not part of COMEX. So therefore the price doesn't go up when China buys from the mines and Tesla buys from the mines and India is probably buying from the mines, even though there's no silver in COMEX and there's no gold in COMEX. So they're playing these games. But the problem is Russia and China are just on the Shanghai exchange. It just keeps going up and up and up. And people all start ignoring COMEX. See, the beauty is competition. When you have a monopoly, you can fuck around any way you want. So, we'll use COMEX. And we're the U.S. and we don't have any gold and you do. So we're going to keep your gold price down. But once the competition of BRICS comes in and the Shanghai Gold Exchange comes in, and then we see the value of gold at $5,000, and COMEX, they're going to sell it at 2,600. So everybody's going to buy it off of COMEX and go sell it at Shanghai for 5,000. They'll double their money. Only an idiot at COMEX would keep the price that low when it shoots up to 5,000 on Shanghai. So that's how it blows up. The competition will blow it up. Just like any other good or service, competition, the monopolies can't handle competition. De Beers has the diamonds. Well, they have a monopoly on it. Russia said, fuck you to them, and they won't let the diamond cutters cut. So there's a big diamond, and they cut it. I saw this in Amsterdam. I went to the diamond exchange, and they take this rough diamond, and then they kind of force it, and they make earrings out of it, and they make rings out of it. But the cutter itself, who shapes everything, is in De Beers, and they won't, they'll blackball them in De Beers. So we need the Russians to figure out how to do it to compete with De Beers. But like if you're hoping for diamonds to go up, you're fucked because that's a monopoly. Gold and silver is different. It's hard to believe that all USD denominated goods will be revalued in gold and silver. It's going to be like the 1950s again. Houses 25K, cars 500K. Well, that's exactly what it will be. I was watching Leave It to Beaver today. There's a channel, Leave It to Beaver, so I'm watching some shows. So Beaver wins a car. This is 1960, 61. He wins a sports car worth $3,500, which would probably now be like a $100,000 sports car. That's inflation. 3,500 to $100,000. How much inflation is that? So it was cute. Beaver wants to keep the car, and Ward said, "Oh, put it in your bank account." Why didn't he buy gold? I don't think you could in the 1960s. It was banned, but finally in 71 we were able to buy it. But it was cute. So the Beaver won a contest. He was all excited. I like Leave It to Beaver. Good, wholesome TV. Yeah, I mean, and back in the day, Beaver would get into trouble. He'd do something stupid, and then Ward would talk him out of it and say, "What lesson did we learn?" And he was like the perfect father. He never yelled at the Beaver. He was always, "Okay, son, this is, yeah, you were wrong. Did you learn the lesson? Okay." And like every show's like that. Beaver would get in trouble, and Ward would talk him out of it and go, "Okay, do you understand what you did?" And Beaver's like, yeah, okay, I get it, Dad. And, it was, you'll never see a show like that now. That's why I watch it, because there's no shows like that now. They're too worried about all this bullshit, You got to have certain religions on and certain types of people and all that, which I really don't want to get into here. The world now is just horrible. So I booked a trip to I can never think of the name, that coast in Italy. So I'm gonna fly into starts with the P, the airport, not Palermo. What the fuck? I have such mental blocks of these city, Naples. I'm flying into Naples. Now I got to figure out how to get to the airport to the dock, and then it's a 30-minute ferry ride to this place. It looks like a small city, so I should be able to walk off the dock and walk to my hotel. And then the problem, so I get there at 7:30 in the morning. Jenna gets there at she wanted a nonstop, so she's getting there at 5:50. She leaves. She gets there about 8:30. And so it's like a 2.5-hour direct flight for her, which is fine. It was like, it ended up being $300 because it's like 180, but if you have luggage, you got to pay for the luggage. So then I don't know what to do. Do I go back to the airport to pick her up, or do will the dock be open at 8, 9 o'clock to shuttle her there, and then I can meet her at the port? If it's not, then I'll have to Uber her to the hotel, which will be like $100, which fine. But I don't want to Uber back to the airport and then come back. I mean, that's crazy. Plus, I'll be pretty tired because, I fly all night. I get in at 7:30. So I fly out of Newark this time. Detroit to Newark to Naples, and then get to the hotel, and my room won't be ready till 2 o'clock. And hopefully I can have breakfast there because I am paying for the room for the day. At worst case, I'll just pay for the breakfast anyway, and then go sleep on the beach. They'll hold your luggage at the desk. Usually, I can't imagine they won't. And then check in at 2 and get a nap and wait for Jenna to get there. So we're all excited. She's got a 20-hour train ride from her city to the Lviv border in Poland, and a 5-hour train ride from Lviv to Warsaw to the airport. So I got to book her a flight. She's going to go on the 7th. She'll get there on the 8th, and she flies out the evening of the 9th. So she'll have I'll book a hotel at the airport for her. It's like $80. We do this all the time because it's such a long train ride. She'll be exhausted. Whereas I'm glad, so at least she can sleep until 2 or 3 o'clock, and then just shuttle to the airport, just 5 minutes away. And I bought her a bag, 20 kilograms or whatever. I don't know what's that, like 40 pounds. So she's bringing one suitcase, and then I says, well, what do you want me to bring you? She says, well, bring the cod liver oil little pills and gold. So before she was hemming and hawing about gold. Now she's like, yeah, bring gold, bring gold. So that'll be nice. And then we're on the water. There's beaches. The town looks very small and it goes up into the mountains. So that's about it. The Amalfi Coast. Yeah, no, but the city's like, it's not sure with a P or a C or something. Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we can still take a day trip to Rome, I assume. Looking on the map, Rome doesn't seem that far. And I'm sure we could take a day trip here and a day trip there by bus. Probably take us an hour or two. Like if you take a tour bus and then drop us off and then come back at 4 or 5 o'clock or something. So I think we can see Rome, and maybe we can even go to Venice. Maybe we can take a ferry to Venice. How big is Italy? Like, can you ferry, to Venice in 2 hours, 3 hours? I did that with Carmen at the south of France. We stayed in we stayed in Cannes, and one day we took a boat to Monte Carlo. It was like an hour boat. And then the next day we went to Saint-Tropez, an island, which was another hour in a different direction. We held out in Nice. And so everything was fairly close. So I think it's going to be similar to that. And we'll look forward to that. But I found with Carmen, she wasn't really appreciative of it. She was, she fucked up her flight. She didn't get on the flight. I had to buy her another flight because she didn't make her flight. And I was extremely pissed, and it cost me like $700 to get her a flight that day. So I said, well, that's your gift. I mean, you just fucked yourself because now you're costing me another $750. And so I bought her a few little souvenirs, but I was like, and she was so into the money. But we did go to the old casino in Monte Carlo, the old casino. There's a new one, and we went to the old one, but they wanted like 10 euros, and you couldn't take pictures. So I said, what's the point? I'm not here to gamble. I can go gamble in the other casino. I wanted to take pictures, but if I can't take pictures, what's the point of going in? So I didn't go in. There was no point. I just wanted to see it. But anyway, send her a car to your hotel. So do an Uber from the airport to my hotel. Okay. She can get to you. She'll let you check in early. If they have, well, I have the room reserved. So the question is, they don't give me an option. They says, when are you coming in? And the earliest was 2 o'clock. There was no, I'm coming in at 9 and 10 in the morning. Can you have my room ready? Maybe I'll send them a message because I do have their site, and I can say, okay, can you possibly have the room ready by 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock? So send her a car to your hotel. So you're saying when she lands at the airport to just Uber her over. Well, it's an hour drive and it's $100. The ferry's $12 and it's a half hour. Getting to the ferry from the airport, I'm not sure. It's probably a quick cab ride. I mean, I don't know. That'll be the thing. So I'll want to go to the ferry, and then hopefully what are the hours of the ferry? I'll be in Milwaukee this weekend for my coworker's 50th. He was the one that traveled to Amalfi with his girlfriend last year. I'll see if he recommends any cool spots for you guys. Ask him how he went from Naples. Did he go to the ferry and then ferry to the city? and see if he knows that. And then the ferry, I can probably walk to the hotel. It looks like it's not a very big place, at least where my city is. But yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you, Luke. You won't want to leave. Screw Rome. Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we normally don't. When we went to Odessa, we didn't go anywhere else. When we went to Lviv, we didn't go. We just walked around Lviv and had a good time. We were supposed to go to Amsterdam, but that was the year Amsterdam was closed. And I went to there was no girls, there was no steakhouse, everything was closed. I found one grocery store that was open and one bakery that the guy said, don't tell anybody we're open. And that was it. It was the stupidest thing. It's all locked down. For what reason? I mean, what are you guys talking about? What was your point of that? To control us? What are you guys fucking out of your minds? Venice is too far. Naples is right up the coast. Well, that's where I'm flying into Naples. That'd be cool. Sardinia or Sicily better than Rome times dirty shithole. Yeah, I remember you saying that. I really don't want to see Rome. I hear there's a bunch of scammers, pickpockets. The Vatican's even worse, and I'm not Christian, so I don't care about the Vatican or seeing the Pope. I'd rather meet Joe Montana than the Pope. So I won't go to Venice. Naples, well, we're flying into Naples, so we can see it. Sardinia or Sicily. Oh, maybe Sicily. Maybe we can see Michael Corleone in Sicily. Or you could take a month, screw your return flight, and travel all over. That's what I'd want to do. Well, I have to see. I do have the football, and then I have to see about, yeah. When gold hits 20,000, yeah, we can stay 6 months there. That's what I'm waiting for. So I got to be careful waiting for the gold to explode and the silver to explode, and then I can cash in an ounce of gold for 20 grand. Yeah, we can stay there a long time. The Pope isn't Christian, Catholic, whatever. He's Roman Catholic, I guess. I know he's not Jewish. That's all that matters. I'll go see the rabbi in Vatican City. But yeah, Jenna, they're all Roman Catholic, I think, in Russia and the Ukraine. They all celebrate Christmas like January 7th and stuff like that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so we can go to, well, ask your friend what he did. But yeah, what's in Sardinia or Sicily besides Michael Corleone's home? And maybe we should go to Corleone. Where's Corleone? Is it nearby? We can see The Godfather. That'd be funny. Here's where they took the donkey and hid Vito in the little carriage as he went to the boat. There's wine. Okay. Not a big wine drinker because I don't really drink. What is that figure? I get that from Dario. What is that figure? Sounds cool. Oh, that's what that is? Oh, okay. Sounds cool, though. You're starting to sound like Bobby. Sounds cool, though. Okay. So anyway, that's the plan. That'll be later, in about a month. And I'm excited. I haven't seen Jenna since November. I've been waiting for Daria, but at this point, my guess is probably Christmas when the daughter's on Christmas break. The mother will come to see them, and then hopefully we can go to Serbia for a week. I think we can go to Montenegro, where there's a nice place there, or Turkey. But with the war, I don't know what to do with Turkey. We're going to go to Greece. I don't know what to do with the war there, so it's crazy. Oh, means I don't know. Okay. You should rent a small flat car and drive the coast. Maybe we will. Jenna has a license, so she's bugging me for it. How are they cheap to rent a car for a day or two? And then can I read? Now, do people speak English? Like if I go to the cab driver, is he going to be able to understand English? Just curious. I'm sure the hotel will, and most of the restaurants, I would assume, will speak English. That's the way it was in Barcelona. Those people could speak English. I remember we went to a restaurant in Barcelona, and only one person could speak English. Does the cab drivers and the restaurants speak English? I should be able to order, because even when I'm in Russia or the Ukraine, they speak English. Ukraine, they speak in Romania. Portugal, I had a hard time with them speaking English, which I was kind of surprised. But in Italy, I saw this movie and they didn't speak English. So I'm like, oh, fuck, really? Is this why I'm watching this crazy movie? I rented a car in Geneva for a day to drive to Cameroon, France. It was a BMW for $250. That's not bad for a day. Do you need to buy the insurance? Or I have car insurance, so do I need the insurance? So do they speak English? I should not, the cab drivers or the Uber, like to get back and forth or like, I always worry, like, okay, this is the hotel I want to go to. Like, are you going to drop me off at my hotel, or am I going to swim with the fish? You never know. Geneva. I've been to Geneva. I think I showed you the pictures of that. Cameroon, France. Where is that? Southern France. Everyone's okay. Thank you for that. That's one less worry. Well, usually they do because of the dollar. That's the one good thing about the dollar, is everybody understands it and speaks it. You never know, though. Even in Russia, I mean, some people didn't. It was broken English. But if you go to a hotel or a restaurant, somebody there speaks English. You might not, maybe not your waiter, but somebody will speak English there. Unless I'm in China. No, I'm not. I hear everybody's leaving China. All the big businesses, Intel, and everybody's packed up and left. So there's no customers. So all these businesses are going out because there's no customers. Rule number one: you must have a demand for your product. If you don't have customers, you can't sell something. So all of China's freaking out because all the US are leaving, all the Japanese are leaving, everybody's leaving China. And so they're stuck with nobody to go to the restaurants or the hotels or buy clothes or buy stuff. There's no buyers because everybody's leaving. So China supposedly is going bankrupt, and they're sitting on 60,000 tons of gold. How does that work? So, they're going on the gold standard. Maybe they don't care. It's the same like with Russia. They just raised their Fed funds rate to like 19%. But they're sitting on 25,000 tons of gold. So I don't think they're going to be worried. I assume they're just going to go to the BRICS gold-backed currency and get rid of the ruble and get rid of the yuan. And then Daria will have gold-backed currency, and I won't be able to help her with food and rent because it's going to take me $1,000 to give her 100. So that's not going to work. So then she'll meet me because then I'll be able to give her gold. But that's what's going on. So as the dollar goes out, and in Rome it took a while. The Roman Empire, as soon as they lose the gold, they're done. And so Rome lost all the gold and silver with Nero, and he burnt everything down he burnt it down to put marble up. That's what they don't tell you. You think Nero was crazy and he burnt the city, but no, he burnt the city so he could replace it with marble statues and marble buildings. That was his point. And they were also going to make the Colosseum a water for having boat wars on it. So instead of gladiators, they're going to have boats fighting each other, like the Pirates of the Caribbean in Vegas. That's what their intention was. But then they ran out of money, and what happened is the Germans got the gold and they invaded them. Or no, the Ottomans, the Turkeys, and they invaded them, and that was the end of Rome. You can't print your money to zero. Eventually, people understand it, and people don't want to do business with you. Why would you want to do business with worthless piece of crap dollar? I don't want this. So people are not going to want this. People aren't stupid. Why do you think the whole world is central banks are dumping this and buying gold? They get it, right? They all get it. They're all buying gold. That's why the gold price keeps going up, and we got to break comex, and then you'll really see it go. And silver, is going to explode because people understand the Titanic's going down. Oh, it's unsinkable. Maybe not. I heard a story on that from somebody, can't remember who. They said, do you really know the real story why the Titanic sank? I says, well, it hit the iceberg. And they said, no, there was several real rich, like the Guggenheims and real rich people on the boat. They wanted to go to a gold-backed currency. They didn't want the Federal Reserve. This was like what, 1913, before the Federal Reserve came in? They were against it. And these were rich guys that could have blocked the Federal Reserve and kept us on the gold standard. That's why the boat sunk, supposedly. Now, I don't know. I just heard it from somebody, but I do believe in stuff like that. Like 9/11 was a gold robbery. It had nothing to do with terrorists. I don't agree with the Ukraine war being about $1 trillion in minerals. We can't let Russia have it. I think Russia has and China have a lot of minerals anyway. I don't think they need this $1 trillion if there is $1 trillion. So you're telling me Ukraine's too stupid to dig the minerals out of the ground and get it? Really? I don't buy that. That's a bunch of bullshit. But anyway, so I heard that on the Titanic that they wanted to kill the Federal Reserve before it started. It started in 1914, and they wanted to go back on the gold standard. They probably had a lot of gold. So this is Guggenheim and Levi and a few other bigwig New Yorkers, and that's why they sunk it, was they were against the Federal Reserve. So probably J.P. Morgan, moved the iceberg in front of them or took the binoculars away and paid off. I mean, nothing surprises me with these fucking Madoffs. Everything's a Madoff. Silver is going to soar. We know it really is going to. I mean, if we know nothing else, and we're assuming the gold and silver, which we're not, we know the dollar is going out. We know the 36 trillion in debt. We know nobody wants to buy our treasuries, so there's no demand for the dollar. We know the de-dollarization, and we know BRICS is coming out with that currency. So we see all that, and therefore we know that's what's going to. It's funny, Alligator, I was watching him, and he said, well, maybe I don't know if they'll present it at like he's really weird now. Well, I don't know if they'll do the gold-backed currency or not. And Mark McGuire keeps saying, no, by my sources, October 22nd, they're definitely announcing the gold-backed currency. So Alligator, is really weird. He's like, well, I don't think it'll even be on the table. And you're like, well, what are you talking about, Alligator? It's a done deal. Mark McGuire is saying this 12 times in his show, in his class. So we know the dollar is going out because nobody wants it, and it's printed to death. It has no value. We understand all that. So gold and silver will be the only lifeboat out there. There's no other lifeboat. You can't go to the euro, the British pound, the Swiss franc, the yen, the yuan, the ruble. You can't go to any of those currencies. So your only option is gold and silver. Even if you bought a Picasso or a Rolex, they're still not money. You still need to sell them. But if you have gold and silver, you have the money. So you can buy the house with the gold. Can you buy the house with the Rolex? I don't know, because again, it's priced $100,000 in dollars, where gold is going to be gold. That is the price. Silver's going to soar. How do you know when to sell silver? 100, 500, 1,000? Well, we don't know. We'll have to play it by ear as it's going. My guess is about when it goes 10-1 to gold. So once it starts equalizing 10-1 to gold, and gold's 20,000 and silver hits 2,000, but what are you going to sell it for? The problem is you don't want to sell it to get dollars because they're worthless, and I don't think you want to get dollars. Like I said, you couldn't pay me dollars to sell my gold to you or my silver to you. So at that point, I think you're going to buy a car or a house with it. So that would be, depends what you need. You just bought a car, so you don't need a car. Well, you can probably buy another one, but it's not like a stock. You must understand this is not a stock that went up and now they got to have earnings to make the stock go up. This is money that can't be printed, can't be reproduced. Therefore, it's extremely limited and there's extremely high demand. So the price, like I said, you won't see it at maybe $1,000 because the dollar will probably be gone. So silver will be its own value. So will gold. And you're going to have to get used to that. It's not going to hit $50,000 because there won't be a dollar to hit it. It'll just buy the $500,000 house. So you're going to be walking around like Eddie Murphy going, I'll take one of those. And oh, there's a Picasso. Here's an ounce of gold. And here's a Rolex. Here's a half ounce of gold. And that's what you're going to be doing. What will the currency be? Will we have gold-backed BRICS currency? Or will we have to move to Russia to get gold-backed BRICS currency? But that's what you want to sell it for, is something gold, the Zimbabwe gold-backed currency. That's what you want. You don't want this toilet paper. So it won't be priced in toilet paper. So the question is, what are they going to come out with? USD number 2. If they come out with the bullshit CBDCs, which the banks won't let them. JP Morgan has the monopoly on printing money. Believe me, he doesn't want digital dollars. The mafia, who deals drugs and gets paid in dollars, so it's not trackable, does not want CBDC. Yeah, I'm going to buy your drugs. Here's my CBDC card. Yeah, I can see Don Corleone. Yeah, I don't think so. So, they're not going to let the dollar go away. So if there is a CBDC, it'll be fiat money and it won't last 2 months and nobody wants it. Everybody wants the dollar. So they'll have to come out with a new dollar, hopefully backed by gold, but we don't have any gold. I mean, just because banks have it doesn't mean they want to give it up. And so this will be real tricky. And guess who doesn't get paid if there's no money? The government. So that they're in a real bind because they won't get paid. How are they going to get paid? In what? If there's no dollar, there's no. So they'll all get pay raises and they'll all get this bullshit money. The money's worthless. So yeah, you make 200 grand. Congratulations, you get toilet paper. Here's monopoly money for 200 grand. Good luck spending it. Don't spend it all at the grocery store, filling your basket. And then who's going to take it? So it'll be a transition to it has to be a gold-backed dollar or it'll be worthless. France did it. The French franc went out 1795 when the British dumped a bunch of French francs in Paris, made it worthless. They came out with a new bullshit currency that lasted 6 months until you get a stable dollar. And the only way you get a stable dollar is to back it with gold and or silver, or usually gold. But to do that, you have to have it. So I think Napoleon put him on the gold standard, but then he went to war instead of just sitting on the gold. He goes to war, and for some reason they invaded. I don't know what the big thing is to invade Russia and Waterloo, the Germans, the French. What's the big deal? It's all wasteland. There's a nice city in Moscow and St. Pete. The rest is just farmland as far as the eye can see. So I don't get the big deal of capturing Russia. There's nothing to capture. There is gold and silver and diamonds in the Siberia and stuff, but outside of that, you're getting a bunch of nothing. I think there is oil down south, and there's no warm water places except for the Black Sea and Odessa. There's no way to get to the Atlantic and the Pacific. That's the problem with Russia. There's no free trade like you have in England and France and Spain. They're right on the Mediterranean and the Atlantic. That's been their problem. So why do they keep invading Russia when it's just, and you can't do it? So that's what's going on. But it's, the dollar has to be backed by gold. So you got to come out with a gold-backed currency. You need an anchor on the gold. Otherwise, these idiots will keep printing it and it'll be worthless. Nobody's going to want it. You backed to buy gold? No, we don't want it. So you had this little bullshit of this reserve currency and the oil dollar, the petrodollar. That's all gone. So good night, that. People will argue, oh, the petrodollar is still on. No, it isn't. It was you had to buy US dollars to buy the oil. Now you don't. They'll take anything. And Saudi Arabia wants gold for their oil. So now you have this big problem, right? We need gold. We need gold for oil. So the gold price will go up between that. Africa wants to go on the gold standard. BRICS going on the gold standard. Who knows these other countries? My guess, all the BRICS will be on the gold standard. Venezuela, Brazil, Iran, the QEA or QAE, whatchamacallit, Kuwait, or no, it's the tallest building in the world. Why am I having a mind fuck on that? But I mean, there's a lot of countries that want to go on gold because they all realize that's the only safe play. And then they can't be held hostage by the U.S. and everybody hates the U.S. So that's the problem. So nobody wants to be with the dollar. So Trump or these idiots can say, we're going to sanction you. And they're going, we're not doing business with you because your money's worthless. Why would China want to do business with the U.S.? To get what? To get toilet paper? Really? I'm going to sell products to toilet paper. Why would I do that when I got the whole BRICS to deal with, to sell to? And since the BRICS gold-backed currency, everybody's money will be worth a lot in the BRICS currency. So they'll be happy to deal with them. We'll have to have a USD silver gold-backed note. Well, I agree with you. It should be silver and gold. Absolutely. Russian women are beautiful. Well, that's why I date two of them. And like Jenna's very jealous. Daria is too. I mean, they just like you're for me, and they all want family. They want to marry you. They want that security in the family. And I'm very nice to them, which is they like that. Daria says I hate Russian men because they don't treat them right. They're not nice to them. And then she meets me, and she's like, "Wow, you're so nice and caring to her." And so they really appreciate family. So she says, "I want a family with you." And I go, "Well, okay. Well, if we can ever fucking meet, we can't have it from here to Russia, but yes." So that's why it's frustrating waiting to meet her. And I've known her years. I mean, it's not like I just met her. I've known her probably 5-6 years at least. We need a countdown to BRICS Summit, Professor. Well, okay. It's October 22nd. It's September 17th. So that's, let's say, 35 days. How about that? It'll get much more interesting when we hit October 1st, and then we're counting the days in October. But we're almost there, and the more we fuck around with them and the more we sanction them and the more we bully them, the more they're like, we're going to go on that gold back system. So I, again, don't understand alligators saying, oh, no, we're not going to, it might not even come up in the summit. What are you talking about? So who do I trust? Mark McGuire, who keeps saying it's October 22nd and it's already on the table and they're coming out with it? Or do we trust alligator, who for some reason is losing his mind, going, oh, well, it probably won't even be up there. Who got to him, right? So let me show you this thing from Egon. I think you'll like this. What are we at? Gold at 25.71. So, we're fine. Tomorrow or Thursday definitely will be, everything will go up. But this is just nonsense. I mean, it's not even real. That's the beauty of it. It's just, but we understand it's bullshit.
Of course, it'll be different. default, initially there'll be more money printing, adding debt to repay all debt. It's not a great solution to the problem. And then it has to be default. But you have to remember I don't believe in any orderly reset at all. There won't be any orderly reset. They will try, maybe US will try with something, come up with a digital currency, whatever. That's still another form of fiat money, will make no difference whatsoever. So it might work for a few months, but it's not going to work. After a lot of money has been printed, at some point there will be a deflationary implosion of the system, a collapse of the system. Of course, there has to be, because if you have debt that's nobody can repay or not even service, it has to collapse. But you have to remember, when the debt collapse, also all the assets that were supported by this debt will also collapse. So you have an implosion of values that was going to be, as I said, I would expect it to be at level of 90% plus.
If you're getting old.
So that's my point about the assets go to zero too, because they're in dollars. So everything in dollars goes, if the dollar's worthless, how can your house be worth $500,000 when the dollar's worthless? So this is what these rich guys don't get. They're too smart to listen. And their financial planners are probably morons who probably say, just stay in the stocks. It's like your buddy with the 401k. Oh, just stay in the mutual fund and get this and get that, and you're fine. They don't understand gold. So how are they going to put you into the gold? There's a thing that Alligator did. Oh, it's Positana Village. So this is a quick view where I'm going to be. See, it looks very small. This is just somebody on vacation doing this. So what a view. You got mountains, you got the water, you got the pretty homes. Somewhere there's my hotel with a nice view of, I think this is a lake. So anyway, that's where I'm headed. Maybe I won't come back. I keep forgetting the name, Positano. I get, for some reason, I get just brain dead on it. I'm not going to show you Alligator. He's getting too weird. German lawmaker says U.S. troops and nukes should leave. They're getting pretty intense in Germany because all these countries are going bankrupt because of the U.S. We're charging them more for the oil that they should have gotten from Russia. They're all going bankrupt. All this immigration. They're throwing out all the Islamic terrorists, and they want their country back. So you're starting to see a lot of pushback. But at this point, their money's worthless. So, Russia has to pay for the war. Somebody said we're making a bunch of money on the war. We're not making anything on the war. It's costing us billions. So when we send $600 billion to Ukraine and they send it back to us for the defense contractors, we're paying ourselves. We sent the $600 billion and it's coming back to the defense contractors. Now, how are we making any money? It's our money that's going out, that's coming back. It's a net of zero. But we're paying a lot for the war. We've got to be, because we're paying all these weapons. They cost money. Wars are very expensive, and there's no revenue in it. So we're hoping to get the minerals. I didn't show you. There's fires around Jenna. This is her city. So she sent this to me yesterday morning. I showed it yesterday, but you weren't here. This is Jenna's city. Look at the fires. I mean, look at it. It's just roaring. So I don't know if this is the U.S. saying if we can't have the minerals, you can't, or what. I don't know. But it's just a crime. There's one more, Egon.
The era of Shangri-La and money printing and saving the world by fake money, that era is totally gone. I'm not a prophet of doom and gloom. It might sound like it. I'm just someone who looks at risk, as you know. I mean, that's why we went into gold 20 years ago. I recommended to our investors and many of our investors into gold in a major way because gold was the best solution to a risk situation in the financial markets that I saw already 20 years ago. So we haven't seen the collapse, although it was we almost had it in subprime crisis. It was patched up temporarily by massive money printing. This time they won't succeed. This is still really a consequence of what happened in 6-9. Nothing was resolved then, and it always had to come back. And of course, now it comes back with global debt being about 3 times higher than it was in the early 2000s.
Unlock more savings in the...
So you can see, yeah, the Tiberian, yeah. Well, there's no sharks. That's what I would worry about. Although when we were in Odessa on the Black Sea, it helped my gout right away. I went into it and my foot was fine. But there was jellyfish in the water, so I had to get out. But it's amazing how it healed my foot right up. Would you be surprised if the BRICS summit had no impact on the price? Absolutely, it has to. You wouldn't, sadly. Well, again, it's got to break away from COMEX, but it definitely will. They go on a gold-backed currency. It's all de-dollarization at that point. 90% plus crash. Well, Positano is on the Mediterranean. Yeah, okay. But see, I keep mind fucking on Positano. But that's a good idea. I'll see about renting a car. If everything's in English, I can at least figure out where we're going. I won't have internet because I don't have like international internet, so I can't like map it. Maybe Jenna will. I don't know. I have to see. Get her out of there as soon as I keep trying to. I said, why don't you come here? Well, her family's there. She's got 2 sons, and one son's is married with the kid, and she's got a sister there. Her mother died, her brother died in the war. So her family's there, and she won't leave because I think what happens is she has an apartment, but I think where I'm renting, I think she owns her apartment because she needed help with windows, so I helped her get the windows. But she must own the apartment, and therefore she doesn't want to leave it. And so I said, well, come. She says, well, I need a visa. And I'm like, well, get a visa. I'll pay for it. But I can't get you a visa. You have to get the visa. Why don't you come here for a few months? At least get out of there. But she just keeps telling, she doesn't want to leave her family. I mean, she's got a son that's married and a son that lives with her, like he's in college. So she doesn't want to leave them. So she wants me to go there. I go, I'm not living in a war. Sorry. They probably want me to fight for the Ukrainians because they're putting in, there's no limit on, you're a man, you can walk, you're in the army, which is insane. They're not training them. They're just throwing bodies. And I don't really want to get killed in a war. That is none of my business. If anything, I'd probably want to root for the Russians. I go, I'm going to change sides. Here, have an ounce of gold. Keep me alive. Let me go talk to Putin. How about that? We'd start talking BRICS, me and Putin. But I can't. But she's okay. I said, how are you? Is it near the house? And I don't think it is, or I don't think she's in danger around the house. So she's just showing me, I think, what's going on there. But she's like, I'm fine. She's like, yeah, we'll meet. I'll take the train and we'll go. I worry when she's on the train, she's going to get a rocket up her ass and blow up the train. But apparently Russians aren't bothering them. The Russians are just at the oil and mineral cities, Odessa and then Kharkov and then Donetsk and then Crimea. That's the only war. It's just they're defending those areas where the minerals and oil is. That's it. So in her town, she doesn't see any. Once in a while, she gets a rocket in her city, but generally, she's not really involved with the fighting. So she's okay with it. Otherwise, if it was really bad, she'd probably just move to Berlin. She wants to live in Berlin. I go, I'm not. I don't want to live in Berlin. I don't want to be reminded of Hitler in any way, shape, or form. So when we went to Berlin, I was like, I don't want to go to a museum and see them, see the Nazi, Heil everybody. So I was like staying away from that. Your phone GPS will work. Oh, okay. Well, I'll give it a try when I'm there. You may have to call your provider and get a passport plan. May cost you $20 for unlimited data while you're there. Yeah, I can do that. Although it worked. When I was in Barcelona, I got the Harley Davidson job. So I dropped Jen at the airport. I'm driving back to the hotel because she left early. And I get a phone call and I go, well, it's probably not going to work. And it was the guy for the Harley job. And I got the Harley job that I interviewed for in Philadelphia on the Thursday. On Monday morning, our time, the guy, you got the job. That's why I like contract. You get the job in 3 days. These other ones are just ridiculous. So that's why I like football is my job and the teaching. So what would you do, Luke? I got stood up last night. I've been teaching this guy like how to pick football games, how to bet it and everything. So we had 4 or 5 classes, and then we normally do Monday nights. He's in California, so 9:00. And I get no email. And I email him, are we on now about 8:00? Are we on for 9? No email. Then I email him this morning. Is there a problem? Are we still on? No email. Now, he liked the classes. It was only $25 a class, which he seemed to have no problem with. So I don't get it, how there's just no communication. I'm thinking it's like Daria all over again. Where is the guy? So he could have said, I'm going to be busy now, unless you got into a car accident or something where he can't email me. It's very odd because he was enjoying the classes. He's taking notes. So I'm just like confused, like, where is this guy? So I don't know, but it was like, I'm looking, there's no email. Google Maps will work on it for driving directions. Okay, well, I'll try that. And I'll get a map from the hotel and see. So we'll go to these cities that you recommended. I do want to see Corleone, though. I want to see where Vito was born now. So it's Sardinia and the other one, Sicily. So I'm gonna look for Genevieve olive oil. See if I can find the factory there. All right, so I'll try Google Maps. My phone seems to work there, but I don't know if I can. If my WhatsApp works there. I don't think my internet works there. So I have to go to, when I'm at a restaurant, I have to hook into their Wi-Fi. But yeah, let me call. I can't remember my carrier. I'll have to go online and say I need Europe. And then now you don't have to, like the credit cards, I used to have to tell them I'm going to Romania, don't block my card, because they've done that before in Romania where they block my card because they're getting a Romanian transaction. They go, oh, well, this is no good. We're not going to pay it. And now it's so now it doesn't matter. They just send you an email. You made a transaction, and I go, yes, I did. So I don't have to inform them. The bank I will, but I don't think I'll use my debit card unless I want to change dollars for euros, I think. But they rip you off anywhere anyway, so we'll see about that. Your phone will work in Europe. However, you'll be charged out the ass unless you can contact the provider for their special plan. No, he didn't pay me. Normally, he pays me just before class. So he sends me a PayPal. I go, he's paid. And he's paid me for each class, and he buys my locks. So it's gone like 3 weeks, and then yesterday, nothing. But Friday he said, I really like your class. I'm looking forward to learning more, da, 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 da. And then normally Monday he contacts me, are we still on? And we do a not a Teams, but the other one, what's it called? The other, not Skype, not Teams, but the I can't think of it. Got my mind. It's too late. My mind keeps going blank, but it's the other talker, not Skype or Teams. It's the other one. And so we do that, and it works out fine. And I get pretty in depth on him, and he likes it. He's trying to learn. Yeah, I want to be like you. I want to know how to bet football. And I go, there's a lot to it. I've been doing it since the 70s, so I've learned and learned and learned. I'm open-minded, but it's not something you're going to learn. It's going to take you years to learn it. You can't. It's not like a formula. You can just learn it. Well, it's like gold. I had to get a master's in it to fully understand that they print the paper to nothing. I mean, nobody knows that. Nobody's taught that. How does he pay you, Venmo or Apple Pay? He pays me on PayPal, but I'm ready to switch to Venmo because PayPal now says, oh, we're putting you on a $300 limit for the month, and anything more, you're going to have to mark that it's completed and then date it, and then you got to wait 7 days to get paid. I go, what the fuck? When did this start? So all of a sudden, early September, they see activity. And I go, I've been doing this for 25 years on your site. They said, I started in 2000. I've been on 24 years. Why are you calling it a new thing? This is not new. I've been doing this every year. I've done it. That's why I joined PayPal, was to get paid for Teaserking. So they're saying, well, you haven't had sales in 3 or 4 months. I go, of course not. It's football season. I start getting paid in August. It goes till January. That's it. So, of course, I don't have payments in June, July, because there's no activity. And I call it teaching. I'm teaching, and, it's a service. I'm not shipping a product. If you did that, you'd have to wait 21 days. I go, where are you guys getting the $300 limit? Raise the limit to $3,000. And I said, I don't know. It depends. If all of a sudden 50 people want to join the class at $25 a head, college and pro, then that's a whole. But I can't tell you how many. It's brand new that I've done. That I'm charging 25 for these classes. So I don't know. I don't know how many I'm going to get. I said, right now I got 3 people last week. I might get 10 or 20 this week because everybody wants my picks. And I used to do it in free and say, well, I like this team. I like Ohio State. I like Michigan, whatever. This year I'm not giving any. I'm just, here's a spread. Here's how I rank the teams, and that's it. And some people are clever and kind of go, oh, okay, I'm going to use his info I'll figure it out myself because I've been teaching them. But most people want the free picks, and I'm not giving it to them. So they have to get the picks. They got to join the class at $25. So I had 3 people last week. But I might do that on what is that fucking thing? It's not Skype, and it's not Teams. It's the other one. They used to do the thing during COVID. They would like Lord of the Rings, and there were like all these people on it, and it was a different. I can't think of it. Damn. You look Italian, Professor. Really? I don't think I am. I think I'm Russian. My mom's side. Her father came from Russia in 1919. They went to Canada. She was born in Toronto, and then she married my dad in Detroit. So I know she's Russian. I don't know what my dad's side, and he died, so I don't know what that'll be like. Yeah, Zoom. Thank you. Maybe something happened. You never know. I wouldn't sweat it if it happens again. Then beg. Well, I'm out nothing, but I am kind of like, why isn't this guy communicating? He seemed to like it. It'd be like it's like Bobby not showing up. Like, where the fuck is he? But this isn't you're not paying for the class. But I said, at least tell me you're not interested. But I think he's very interested. I think something happened because I think he wouldn't have just left with no communication. So it's like Daria, right? Where's Daria for a week? Where's Daria? Why? She's with somebody else. What's going on? And she would say, oh, no, I had to work, and I had to, my phone was out, and this was out. And So she had excuses why she all of a sudden stopped talking to me for a week. But they were legit. I said, "Oh, you're with a Russian guy." She says, "I hate Russian guys." Okay, so where are you? Like once her router went out, once she was sick. I mean, so she had legitimate excuses, and I believe them. So anyway, that's it was just wait for her to. I knew she was going to contact me, so that's it. The same thing with him. I'm sure he'll contact me, but it's just frustrating. As much as I was frustrated with PayPal holding my money, so I'd go in. So let's say you paid me, $25 for the class, and I went into your transaction. And I says it's complete, and then I dated it the date. I should have dated it the date of the transaction. I just dated it all on Saturday. And so I got to wait 7 days, and then it'll be active, and then I can bring it into my money. And I'm so frustrated to go, but if the order is complete, why do I got to wait 7 days? I've completed it. It should be, it's my money. I want to get it out. And so I'm really frustrated with the fact that it's my money. It's complete. It's a service. I didn't ship anything. And therefore, why are you holding my money for a week? Which I assume it's the interest, but again, it's just ridiculous. Why do you have a $300 limit on me? I made 300 last week. Like what I do in a week is what you're giving me for a month. So I'm going to have to play these stupid games. So I'm bitching. Fortunately, there's a phone number. If anybody needs a PayPal phone number, I can give it to you. And then it's just a matter of getting the phone number and getting. So I talk to humans, and they, "Oh, you've been with us since 2000. Oh, yeah, you shouldn't have a problem." And then they denied it. And I'm like, what the fuck are they denying it for? I mean, you haven't had a problem with me in 24 years. What are you worried about? And once I mark it complete, now what are you worried about? You have no risk. Well, what if the guy's not satisfied? It's a class. You're paying for the class. Once you take in the class, that's it. You can't well, I'm not satisfied with the class. Well, then don't pay again. If you go to a restaurant and you're not satisfied, you don't ask for your money back. You just don't go back. So what do you mean? Nobody's asking for their money back in a class. It's not like I'm sending golf clubs and it doesn't have club heads. And so you can't play and you want a refund. Okay. This is a class. There's no refund. Once they send me the money, then I teach the class. Okay. I can mark that complete, but then why? But a month ago I was getting money in for the season, and it came in. I just said send to the bank. I didn't have to do it the complete crap. So it's a real pain in the ass. I'm really pissed about that. Bobby may not really be the real Bobby Bo. Who the fuck knows? All I know is Capitol Grill is coming. Well, me and you will go to Capitol Grill regardless. I don't know what it is. He seems to be Bobby because he'll say, "Yeah, I was, Barry was hitting in front of me, and Palmeiro was hitting in front of me on the Mets or on the Pirates or something." So he seems to bring up Barry like it's nothing, or his kids like it's nothing, and his property in Tampa. He's asking me, I want to do Airbnb. So he seems very familiar that it would be Bobby. He didn't explain where he's been, but he says he does watch the videos. He likes the videos, but he's probably got a girl and he's busy with her. You know how the girls are. And so he doesn't come on. And, when I'm working, I can't come on during the day. I'm not working now. Just my football is my job. And this is my job. I say gold's my job because I keep making money. Every $100 that goes up, I make some good money. So I'm like, how is this not an investment? I mean, define investment. You're in stocks. I couldn't make this money in stocks if I wanted to. So anyway, yeah, I do think it's really Bobby, but it is weird. He won't answer your question. And it is weird that I said, well, give me your email. If you want to get a hold of me for stuff. And he'll come up with questions here about things like accounting questions or tax questions or gold questions. So I don't know. It's hard to understand, but there's nothing we can do. It's like, will I meet Daria? Well, I hope so, and I assume I will, but until I meet her, I won't. But I keep meeting Jenna, so that's fine. Or we can go to the Steelers game and then Capitol Grill. I'm already going to the Sunday night game versus the Jets. Oh, that's a good one. I'm a big Aaron Rodgers fan. Well, when is that game? Maybe I can meet you for that one. So I can, Pittsburgh's nothing. Probably a quick flight. Fly out. Well, it's what? It's a Monday night. Oh no, it's a Sunday night. Yeah, I could leave Saturday and stay Saturday night, Sunday night, and leave Monday. Shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, that would be a good game. That'd be a real low-scoring game. The Steelers field sucks, but they have a great defense, and the Jets have a great defense once they start playing. I keep listening in Detroit about the football. He does seem to be, who knows though. Well, me and you have met in person, and that really helps. And that's what I'm trying to get with Daria. Now I know it's Daria. I've seen her on a lot of chats, and she sends me videos and pictures on her phone, and I know it's her. So I don't question that it's really Daria, but you need that in real talking and body language and chemistry. You need that. But I think I have it pretty close with Daria. With Jenna, not a problem. I've met her, like I said, several times, and she's excited to meet me in Italy. She sees it. It's beautiful. She wanted to go on a warm beach, and like Odessa was really nice for us. And she keeps asking about my feet. And I'll tell you, since I've taken this Celtic salt, my feet are fine. My back's fine. My feet are fine. You should take a little Celtic salt in the morning. It's got 82 minerals. Just take a little, 1 or 2 pebbles, and then drink water with it. And man, you'll whatever's bothering you will not be bothering you after a couple days of it. Sit back and let the gold do its work. Well, that's my job. My job is to buy as much gold as I can and then not sell it and just wait for it. Keep enough money out, which I have, to pay any bills. And that's why the football is really helpful, because I can use that for any excessive bills over the Social Security, and then all the gold. I love it. And there's no interest income on it. And so it's beautiful. And then when it goes up, there's no tax on it. Nobody knows you have it. That's the best part of it, because the gold stores don't report it unless you did like certain amount or you paid in cash over some threshold. But I know my friend, I was working at this place and I was teaching gold in the back room, and one of the guys, I took him to I didn't know what he'd do. He brought a check for $100,000, and he bought $100,000 worth of gold. So he got 55 ounces at the time. So he's doing cartwheels, I'm sure. I made him. But he's a guy in the back room. How the hell did he get $100,000? Unbelievable. But I was happy for him. And then he bought another 50,000 of silver. I says, well, you need silver too. So he bought silver. And then I lost the job, so I lost contact with him. I'll be sitting with my cousin for that game, but have to leave early and for Colorado on Monday. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get together on a game. And what's a good day for you? But yeah, I mean, it's a short flight to Pitt, and then I can arrive Saturday, watch the game, go home Monday or something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. Take me to Franco Harris's house and Joe Green's place. Yeah, no, that'll be fun. No, it's great. Yeah, I'd like to get the tour from you, so I know where to go and what to do. But never been to Pitt. Just even that airport, I was in Philly. So yeah, no, but I always like the Steelers. I always like the Pirates, and even the Penguins. When Mario Lemieux and Yeager were there. I had a lot of their rookie cards. So anyway, I noticed the cards going down a little bit. It's because people just can't afford. They don't have extra money to buy cards. That's what it is. But once it washes over, a lot of these cards will be priced in gold at a very good price. So they'll all bounce back. Anyway, so yeah, we'll figure out a game, Luke. But anyway, so yeah, I'm sure the guy will contact me. I don't know what the fuck this doesn't make sense. He's saying I enjoy the class. He's taking notes, and he's buying my locks every week, and I'm teaching him how to bet them. I said I put him in two teasers. Teasers are two teams, or three or four, and you adjust the 6 points, so you get 6 points off the spread. But you got to pick two games, which is fine. I can find 20. So let's see. Let's go to our gold price. Boom, boom. $25.74. So we're holding tight in there. We're on our way because I think tomorrow it'll be the up day, or Thursday, so we'll get to 2,600. I think I showed you the eBay in another video where they're all like 2,700 for the ounce of golds. So you did good getting your 2 ounces. So you just bought 3 ounces of gold. You've already made like $100 an ounce on them. They also have a Monday night game versus the Giants. That would be a possibility, or a Ravens Sunday at 1. Well, the Ravens would be better, although it might be lighter to go to the Giants game where they'll kill the Giants. But the Ravens will probably be sold out in a tougher thing. So, yeah, we'll see. Or we can go to the Bengals, go see Joe Burrow. That would be a nice game. We'll figure it out. But, yeah, it's a short pay. Anyway, I think that's about it. So I am going to finish up here and go to sleep. But I don't mind this night stuff. I find I'm too busy with football. There's so many games and so many teams. The key to it is learning the team and learning what type of team they are. Good team, bad team. Do I want to bet on them, bet against them? I like the art of war. I like betting against weak teams. So I got to find the weak teams and all the work to get them. And then there's so many games. You're going through them, filtering it out, going, do I want to bet this game or that game or this game? And it takes so long because every team's new now. After about 3 or 4 more weeks, I'll know most of the teams. I'll know most of the teams by heart. I won't have to refigure. I'll bring in the data, but most of it doesn't change after about week 5. So I got a couple more weeks to go in college and then in pro. And anyway, so I'm going to go to sleep, I think. Well, in an hour. Have a nice night. Good to see you, Luke. I know I haven't seen you in a few days. Pat's normally on, but it's probably past his bedtime. He's in Singapore, so Pat's got 11 a.m., which he's normally on with me when we do the afternoon. The 5 o'clock, he's normally on, so he's up at 5 a.m., so he's probably sleeping now. But anyway, Pat, have a nice day. Luke, you have a nice day. And anyway, so that's what's going on. So off to Italy. Let's get gold to 3,000. And, the thing is, if you do have to sell it, it's only if you're going to get US dollars, but it's only to go on a trip or pay a bill or do something where you're not going to hold the money long. Then I will allow you to cash one in to get the bullshit toilet paper, but to use it to pay a bill. And the funny part is how people take it. People are so blind. I mean, if I'm a store, the last thing I'm doing is taking gold. That's the last thing I'm doing they're taking money. These people are idiots. Now, maybe they take the money and then they run and buy gold with it. But that's drying up. I'm telling you, it's just drying up. There's not going to be. Last time I went to the gold store, he had no ounces. He said all the others, he's got 3 stores. He said, the other stores got the ounces. Yeah, but this one doesn't. They had some quarters and some dimes and a couple of halves. And so I bought the quarter for $7.22, but now it's actually $7.50. So I'm doing okay with it. Anyway, that's what's going on. So, Luke, have a nice day. And we'll see you Capitol Grill and in Pittsburgh land. And it sounds good. I look forward to it. And that's about it. So I got about a month to go to Italy. And we'll see. So have a good day. Buy your gold, buy your silver. It'll be 2,600 by the end. Either tomorrow or Thursday will be the up day where everything goes up. So there's like a sell day Tuesday, and then a Wednesday's kind of, and then Thursday's a buy day, and Friday I don't know what it is, but you just wait and let it go, and you're doing it's just a piece of pie because the dollar's going out. So if you hold money in stocks or you got the money in the bank, you must be sweating your ass off going, oh my God, it's going to be worthless. I can't get the money out of the bank. I can't get the money out of the stock market. It's going to crash. With gold, you don't have any of those worries. And everything will happen. The stock market will crash. The banks are going to be in trouble. The dollar will go to zero. So all that, instead of staying in it and sweating, oh, that's not going to happen. Ignoring the Titanic with the hole in it going to sink. Oh, the Titanic's not going to sink. The boat can't sink. The water's coming in, the boat's sinking, and people don't want to acknowledge it. It's amazing. Okay, good night, Luke. Good night, everybody. And I will be back tomorrow at some point. I've been doing football at like 10:30 in the morning and then going to eat lunch and swim. And we will go from there. All right. Have a nice night, everybody. Take care. Good luck. Buy your gold, buy your silver. It's on sale. The silver's so cheap. I mean, you're going to make at least 20 times on it. So at least 600, 700 on its way to 2,000. All right. Take care, everybody.